Hello YouTube and welcome back to I think part 5. So today we're going to try and get the rear wheel arch on. I'm sorry if I still feel that sound a bit rough. I do feel like death. Yeah, today we're going to concentrate on the rear wheel arch and get basically all the little bits done. So we've got a little bit of work to do here. I need to cut a section out of this, welding a new little piece here, and the lip on the actual quarter panel here, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a little bit rusty and a little bit cracked, and looks like a piece missing up here. So once I cut this out, I'll weld in a new lip down there, so we've actually got something to weld to. Get all the wheel arch as straight as we can. This is just like a seam sealer, so we'll clear it all out. We'll get a new seam sealer in there for when we do put the wheel arch back on. We've got little brackets like this. Again, they will just use a little bit of like a seam sealer, panel bottom type thing to go on. And then obviously we've got this bit which we need to just cut off around here, and then just add in a new little bit of box section and try and straighten that up as much as we can. There's not a huge amount to do on it. The main bit is going to be down this edge, just clearing all of this up. So we've got spot welds going in this side and this side, so we just need to drill all of them out all the way down and all the way up and get the two panels separated, and then we can look at getting this obviously prepped up, cut properly and welded back in. Once that one goes in, we'll jump on the middle panel. Yeah, we'll see how it goes today and how I'm feeling, but I'd like to try and get both panels at least tacked in, but we'll see how we get on. So yeah, I'll get you set up on the tripod, we'll get all this cleaned up and start getting this one measured up and all the bits and bobs prepped and sorted. So I will see you shortly. Right guys, I've done a bit of trimming. I've just put the panel on, just loosely in place at the moment, because I'm just trying to basically just work out where cuts are and what else needs trimming, what needs bending. It's not actually looking too bad. Let me just spin the camera around and I'll show you properly. So obviously it's just loosely in place. It's held in 2 clamps on this side, nothing on that side at the moment. It's just holding itself there. These lines are roughly where it needs to be, so it does need to come up ever so slightly. But it's not a million miles away. Like I say, once that pushes up, these gaps do close up, and then obviously there's a bit of tweaking to do on this panel, because there was quite a big dent in the bottom of that as well, which I've just banged out. Inner wheel arch isn't that bad. I think the inner wheel arch needs to come out slightly, but then this panel does push in quite a bit. Because as you look at it, sort of down there, it is bowed out quite a lot. So it does need to push in. This part in here, so again, it's not that far. So the actual sort of like C-post does need to knock out ever so slightly down there. But just to give me some idea of what needs bending, what needs tweaking. So yeah, it's not too bad at all, really. A few more bits of trimming in places. I can get this panel sort of sitting in place so it's where it should be, and then once it's all held in with a couple of clamps, I can then start tweaking like the inner wheel arch and that C-post and stuff, and start pulling them out to where they should be. So yeah, I'll try and film as much as I can of bending bits out, but it's quite difficult to film. Obviously, like underneath the wheel arch and so on, whilst I'm swinging a hammer around there and trying to hold a camera at the same time. But yeah, I'll film what I can. I say it's just a case of trying to straighten that C-post out a little bit, mostly this rear wheel arch, and then we can have a look at sorting out a couple of little bits of rust repairs on this quarter panel lip, and obviously the bottom of the C-post down there just needs a box section put in, and I've cut the old piece out, and I've got some new pieces down there. So yeah, we'll modify something and make it fit. So I'll get you set up and see what we can record. Right, so we've just cut out the little bit here. It's just a little bit of rust, and all it basically is it's like a lip. I assume it did weld to this lip here, but the whole thing isn't connected to anything. So we've just literally cut out a little piece here just to replace it. This is just cut out of the little box section that I got extra. So all we'll do is clamp it in place, basically score it, get it cut. It's just literally a case of just giving it a bit of a scoring. So we've got a rough idea of where it needs to be. We'll trim that down and then get that piece welded in. Just running a little bit of welding across this bottom where it's split. And then basically that piece is done. There's a little tiny lip on the inside of here, about that big, that's like a bit of a rusty bit that's ripped off in the crash. So again, I'll cut that out and I'll put in a new little piece on there as well. And then yeah, we are not far off, ready for putting the panel on. I'll see you shortly. Right guys, so I've got this little patches in now, little patch on the inside there, little patch there. It's not the neatest and tiniest of welds. 1 second, just let me get the compressor to shut up. Alright, that's better. Yeah, so just saying, it's not the prettiest of welds, but it'll do the job. It's just a tiny little plate on the inner side, it'll never be seen again. Yeah, so the next thing is now we're going to move on to that bit on the bottom of the C-post, get that welded in. Again, just using this stuff, which is basically just, it's one of the inside rails from the central panel that's got extra. So it's about the same sort of depth. So yeah, we'll just cut a section of that out and then make it fit. So yeah, I'll get that made up and then we'll get the tripod set up for getting it all fitted. I'll see you in a second. Right guys, so just in the middle of making something for this at the moment. So I'm going to make it in 2 pieces. So it's basically that piece there folded into there to create that section, and then I'll just make this section afterwards and just weld that seam weld that down the side. So yeah, I'll just get that done and then I will film welding it in place. Right guys, we've got the C-post welded in. Again, it's not the prettiest, but it's never going to be seen again, and it's it just adds a little bit of sort of rigidity to it. But say it's in, it's welded. Again, it's not pretty, but with what I've got, it's about as good as it's going to go for now. It's all primed on the inside, and it'll all be getting wax oiled anyway when I do actually get it all back together. But yeah, it'll do for what it needs to do. There's no real structure in this little piece here. The main structure's up here. As I say, this piece was completely cut off on the other side, so yeah, it's better than it was. So it's just a case of lining up the rear wheel arch now and seeing what needs tweaking. And then hopefully we can start getting this rear wheel arch welded in pretty soon. So yeah, I'll get you set up on the tripod, do a bit more tweaking, and hopefully start getting this rear wheel arch put in place. Right guys, so we've got everything all prepped up. All the bits and bobs are in primer that need to be in primer. Panels just here. I've gone around it, punched all the holes, primed full back of it as well. So we'll get some bonding sealer across this arch here where it's supposed to be. This bit here, I'm just going to put some bonding sealer on them as well. No point in welding that. And then yeah, we'll get the panel in place and start getting it welded in. So yeah, I'll get you on the tripod now and we'll start getting this welded in place. Right guys, we've finally got the rear arch in place. So we've done the seam weld all the way across, spot welds down the side, spot welds underneath the arches. The only bit I've not done is just down the inside of here. It's got to be done from the inside, but I can't be bothered tonight. I'm knackered. It's New Year's Eve as well, so I've got to go home now and do the family stuff. Yeah, so tomorrow, I'll be back in tomorrow and we'll get it all ground down, get the last bits of welds done, and then get that middle panel in place. So yeah, the usual. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, please subscribe. And Happy New Year to everyone. I'll see you in the new year.